So I've been playing Tekken for quite a while now, a fair few years. I know Alex, you've been kind of enjoying it. Who have you been like? Who stands out to you?
Oh, King. He's just incredible King.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a
hold
King
on.
main.
I've been playing King too. I'm really enjoying it.
You as well, Joey.
Because
Yeah.
we all fall into King.
Yeah, I mean, he has that sweet mask that makes him sound like a jaguar.
He speaks Jaguar.
Guys,
And those leather pants.
do we want to be king for this episode?
Shall we all just talk Jaguar?
I could get down with being King for an episode.
I've been learning jaguar so I can understand what King says. So.
I've been doing Jaguar on Duolingo.
I've got tight pants I can wear.
All right, let's put the jaguar mask on.
Yes!
Oh, well, that's your noise now. I'm not cutting that. This episode of the Game Club podcast contains spoilers for Tekken 8.
So remember, no surrender, my defining moment. I will stand up, overcome my past, this is different to the end. If it takes forever, no surrender, now or never, my last
Hello, this is Tim at Wembembo and everything from the Game Club pod. We're here talking to you about Tekken 8. I'm joined by my brother Joey Fitz.
Hello, I'm Joey from Two Blokes from Blighty, and I'm here to talk about blokes from Blighty and Tekken and 8 and Blighty 8.
Okay, good. I'm also joined by Alex.
Hello, Wine King. I'm here to make Jaguar noises. Rawr.
Wow.
Meow, meow, meow.
Yeah, this episode we've been playing Tekken 8, the latest installment in the fighting game franchise. But before we get into the episode, as always, we're going to go into a bit of a question to get the creative juices flowing. Gang, when you think of fighting games, what's the first thing you think of?
I don't want to say my answer.
What's your answer?
The one that offends you.
What is it?
I'm not going to say it because it offends you.
It's Punch Out, isn't it?
It's Punch Out.
Okay, that's fine. If that's the first thing you think of, that's fine. Alex?
The first thing I think of is I'm terrible at them, but then I think about how I used to be quite good at Soul Calibur.
I was at a tournament today and there was a Soul Calibur 2 side tournament on.
Soul Calibur 2?
Yeah.
What game was the tournament on, Tim?
They had Street Fighter and Guilty Gear today.
You were Guilty Gearing.
I was Guilty Gear and I came 6th.
Your gears were so guilty.
That
sounds really guilty.
Why? Well, I'm not going to ask that question. I heard your episode on Talking Smack about Guilty Gear. I was going to ask you what a Guilty Gear is, but...
Soul Bad Guy is the Guilty Gear.
I still don't understand. I've played a Guilty Gear game through to finish, but...
Go listen to Talking Smack and you'll have more of an idea.
Yeah, if you've got an hour and a half to spare... I remember that being quite a long episode.
It was, and there was a PowerPoint accompanying it.
Very
good. I think I still have somewhere. But as mentioned, we're here to talk about Tekken 8. Tekken 8, as mentioned, is the latest installment in the Tekken franchise, releasing on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Microsoft Windows, and Steam. It launched on January 26th, 2024. It's a traditional 3D fighter, and it's one of the biggest fighting game franchises of all time, going back as far as arcade and PS1 era. It's won a couple of awards. It won Best Fighting Game at the 2024 Game Awards, as well as Best Fighting Game at the DICE Awards. It was nominated for Best Multiplayer Game at the Game Awards, as well as Most Anticipated Game at the 2023 Game Awards. It also was nominated for the Most Wanted Award at the Golden Joystick Awards. Reviews are largely positive, with critics on Metacritic giving it, on average, a 90 out of 100. Oof. And it's... very, very positive on Steam. But I'm going to get to immediate thoughts with Alex.
I had a better time with this than I thought I would. As I said before, I'm not the biggest fan of fighting games. I'm not very good at them, with the exception of I enjoyed Soul Calibur and Mortal Kombat way back when. But I think they're a bit different to things like Tekken, Street Fighter, in how they play. Soul Calibur, for example, is not terribly heavy on timing for your combos, whereas this relies entirely on timing. So yeah, I had a good time. I've put about 6.5 hours in. I'm not at the end of the arcade mode yet, but here we are.
That's fine. Joey?
Tim, Tekken 8 was stupid, yes.
Yep.
Complicated, yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Impossible to follow at points, yes.
Yep.
A fighting game, which I don't generally get on board with, yeah.
Yep.
It had a ridiculous arcade mode that was not in keeping with the feel of the rest of the game at all, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did I hate it? No. Did I actually quite enjoy it? Yeah, I did. I actually really enjoyed playing this. And I didn't get to play through as many of the characters as I wanted to. I mainly did Heihachi, the old man with two mohawks on one head, as my character, but I did a little bit of Leroy as well. And a little bit of King splattered in because he's a funny Jaguar man.
Big funny grappler man.
And I found each of them were easy enough to pick up, very difficult to play well with. And I felt like if you don't love fighting games and you want to give it a go, it didn't feel like it's going, well, this game isn't for you. It very much felt accessible in a way that I got through the story mode. I have no idea what happened, but I did the fights. And I think I did it on like a easier mode, but I did it, which I don't think I would have been able to do in a Mortal Kombat game, for example. There were Mortal Kombat games that I tried on easy mode, didn't manage to get through. But I just feel like Tekken 8 was accessible enough for me to play and enjoy, and it felt tight. And when I fucked up, it felt like it was my fault that I fucked up. Yeah, enjoyed it a lot. Good game.
Good. It's really interesting you brought in the accessibility of this, because one of the objectives for Tekken 8 was to make it as accessible to newcomers as possible.
I would say they succeeded.
I think so too. So I asked these guys to look at the story, the arcade mode, maybe some of the customization options for your characters, maybe some of the combo trials for the characters so they can try, different characters and see what each one is about. We're going to be mostly focusing on those 4 things in this episode, but I wanted to highlight all of the tools that Tekken 8 has brought to the table to improve, or help its players improve at the game. So it's introduced things like replay takeover, where as soon as you're done with a match, be that online or offline or whatever, you can go into the replay and not only take control of your character in the replay, but also the enemy character. And the game will also pause your replay for you to let you know, hey, there's a more optimal punish that you can do here, or this move is plus or minus on block. It's there to really go, oh, okay, this player's doing this a lot, here's how you can beat this. That's one of the really interesting tools it's brought to the table. It also introduced something called ghost battles, where as players play more online, the game learns what those players do with what characters. So, for example, I'm a King player primarily, and if someone were to go onto Tekken and look for Wembembo's ghost online in the ghost battles, they will play a version of King that is not only wearing the costume that I wear the most online, but also has the most habits and behaviors and combo structures. So you can practice against pro-level players or your friends, or even just your own ghost, to just try and break habits if you think that, hey, I'm not doing something right, what am I doing wrong here? Stuff like that is really, really, really innovative in a fighting game at helping you improve, because you can discover your own bad habits, you can fix those bad habits, you can discover new things. It's great.
It was cool. I didn't actually try any of those modes at all. I played the story and the arcade as instructed. But I think I'll be going out and searching for Space Shrimp's ghost.
Yeah. Have a little fight with Space Shrimp.
Yeah. Who was your main person that you fought as, Alex?
When I started, I leaned towards Dragunov, and then as I continued, I started playing a bit of Rena, and then for the majority of my arcade playthrough, I ended up going with Horang. and
Lauren's
having a
cool.
good time with him. It's just a funny, punchy, kicky boy.
Yeah.
Me punchy kicky boy.
And Joey, you said you like Heihachi. Did you try? You said you tried a couple of others.
Leroy as well.
Leroy, okay.
And then
no.
obviously in the story you spend quite a massive amount of time as Jin and Devil Jin as well.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I'll quickly whiz through the story. Thankfully, ChatGPT has managed to
Good
summarize it for me in 4 acts. So
4 hours.
Well, the story's not particularly long, and Tekken isn't exactly known to have the most, coherent story. Most of the time, it results in one of the Mishimas being thrown into a volcano.
Everyone gets thrown into a volcano.
At some point or another. So, after Heihachi Mishima's death in Tekken 7, and death is in inverted commas, Kazuya Mishima has seized total control, and using the G Corporation, his business as a military powerhouse, he declares war on the world, crushing resistant forces and ruling with an iron fist, and with his devil form, he is nearly unstoppable. Meanwhile, Jin Kazama, Kazuya's son, who has been defeated, is left in a weakened state at the end of Tekken 7 and is rescued by Lars Alexanderson and the rebel forces. Jin is struggling with his devil gene and is still finding it uncontrollable, and his failures of the past haunt him, including the death of his mother, Jun Kazama. That's kind of the prelude here. Act 1 is Jin's recovery and Jun Kazama's return. Ooh. Jun Kazama died in Tekken 3, by the way, so like 5 main games ago.
Tim, can I just stop you? Sorry. A lot of that was familiar from Bloodlines, right?
Correct, yeah.
The one thing that really wasn't familiar was the graphics were good here and there weren't any triangles.
No triangles anywhere.
I am going to mark this game down for that reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when this game was announced, people were like, oh my god, Tekken 7, despite it being a PS4, so Tekken 8 rather, looks great. It no longer looks like a PS2 title.
Yeah.
And if you look at Tekken 7, it's kind of fucking ugly, whereas this is a really pretty game.
Tekken 8 looks brilliant.
Now, Act 1, Jin's recovery and Jun Kazama's return. Jin is taken to the secret hideout where Jun Kazama, his mother, long thought to be dead, mysteriously reappears. Jun's presence provides guidance, helping Jin gain control over himself and the devil gene. She teaches him that he does not have to fight with hatred, something that Heihachi and Kazuya always did, but instead he can fight with clarity and inner peace. Meanwhile, Kazuya is hunting down all of the resistance forces and plans on killing them. Is
that the language that ChatGPT used?
No, it's not.
Tim ad-libbed.
I ad-libbed. I'm deviating from the script here.
Wow, stepping up your game.
In an attempt to draw out a bunch of fighters, Kazuya declares that there will be a new King of Iron Fist tournament, or Tekken, but instead of control of the Mishima Zaibatsu, like all the other games have been, any country who either doesn't show up to the tournament or loses will be nuked. Just deleted. So there's a big tournament, and a mysterious newcomer called Reina, who appears to have connections to the Mishima family, emerges. She's very skilled in Mishima-style karate, raising questions about her origins. Ooh. That's Act 1. We meet Reina. That's about it.
So suspicious.
Very suspicious. She's sus. Right, Joey has just posted a photo of Tekken 6, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that might be Tekken 5
No,
on
that's
PSP.
6. That's 6, apparently.
That does not look like 6.
Well,
That's
it's
mad.
what Google tells me.
Yeah. Act 2, the war intensifies. Jin, regaining his strength, begins leading an offensive against Kazuya and the Mishima Zaibatsu. Now without leadership, is caught between a rebellion and the G-Corp's power. Lars and Li Chaolan, who is Kazuya's kind of adopted brother,
Okay.
conduct operations to weaken Kazuya's forces. Paul Phoenix and Martial Law aid in skirmishes, and Victor Chevalier, a newcomer to the series and a French mercenary, joins the fray, aligning with the resistance. Kazuya, however, is far from concerned. He taunts Jin through global broadcast, daring him to face him directly. He believes his son, Jin, is weak and lacking a brutal mindset needed to truly win. Reina's true intentions remain unclear, as she seems to want to know. She wants to see Jin get stronger, but her loyalties remain unknown. The final confrontation. After gathering the allies and overcoming inner turmoil, Jin finally challenges Kazuya in a final battle in an all-out clash in the ruins of a destroyed city. Jin and Kazuya battle between two powerful. They battle as two powerful devil gene wielders. However, Jin no longer fights out of revenge, but instead to try and end the cycle of hatred. He ends up becoming Angel Jin in the most, what's that anime genre where they like just evolve over and over again? It's not a shonen.
You're asking the wrong person if you're asking me, Tim.
Doesn't matter.
You know
Basically,
about like Dragon Ball?
kind of, yeah.
Like Pokemon.
Yeah, like Pokemon.
Like The Simpsons.
Like Beyblade.
Like Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah.
Should we just name cartoons? Is that what this has devolved into?
Kazuya, however, fights, on the other hand, fights purely for domination, and he's fully embraces devil form, and he sees himself as a god.
Like Recess from the Disney Channel.
Spot on, like the Napoleon Dynamite cartoon adaptation.
Which was quite good.
The Rugrats.
During
And
the fight,
one where they grow up and go to high school.
I don't remember that. During the fight, Reina's true nature is revealed, and turns out she's connected to Heihachi Mishima, and she seeks to test which of the two out of Jin and Kazuya are stronger as a stronger heir to the Mishima bloodline. After an intense fight, Jin finally overcomes Kazuya using both devil powers, angel powers, and human willpower. Kazuya is seemingly defeated once and for all. However, now that's a big question of who's going to pick up the pieces of the ruined world. The devil gene's influence is still kind of lingering around Jin, but Kazuya has very much lost the devil gene. The ending of Tekken kind of hints as to whether or not Jin will be able to break this cycle of just hatred and violence, losing the reins on the devil gene, or whether more war looms like kind of over the horizon. However, Reina's presence as also a devil gene wielder suggests there's probably more Mishima bullshit to come. That is about the story of Tekken 8. Any real highlights, gang?
The whole thing was like story soup.
Yeah.
It doesn't nothing. The thing is, I really enjoyed this game, Tim, and I really enjoyed the gameplay. Well, apart from one thing, which I have to talk to you about. But the story was so mental that I couldn't follow it. I skipped one cutscene, and I felt like I had lost 6 years of my life between where I was at the start and where I was at the end. It just did not make any sense. So I think the devil fight at the very start was pretty cool for setting the expectation for this is a bit crazy. I did end up spamming the same combo every single time, like the laser one that just shot across the arena because the AI was too stupid to counter it. Sure. And then there was a point where halfway through I was a character, and all of a sudden I was fighting a demon that took up half of the screen.
Oh, that's Azazel, yeah.
What the fuck is going on here? I enjoyed it. Azazel, Tim. Not Azazel.
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 I enjoyed it. But what was going on? Like, just...
It's basically Kazuya versus the world. Or the world versus Kazuya, depending on your moral alignment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they didn't chuck him in a volcano at the end, so...
No, not this time. Not this time. It's because Heihachi wasn't there to do it.
Could be more
Does that
DLC,
mean it's not Does that mean it's not a canon Tekken game, then?
No, it's still a canon Tekken game. It's just Heihachi is supposed to be dead, and the director of the game, Harada, was like, Heihachi, he's not coming back, and they brought him back as the first the third DLC in the season, complete with a whole new story campaign revolving around why Heihachi isn't dead.
Good on them.
Good on you, Harada, you batshit crazy man. He at one point, Harada, just to go on about the director, was getting sick of people requesting stuff for his games. So whenever he goes to like these public events, like where he's unveiling something for Tekken, or if he's doing interviews, he'll wear a shirt that says, "Don't ask me for shit."
Good. As it should be. Can I touch about the thing that I really did not get or like?
This is in the story, is it?
Yes, in the story.
Yeah.
What the hell were those missions where you had to just fight like waves of enemies?
So from Tekken 5 onwards, there is at least one weird mission in the campaign. And in this one, it was the all-out battle between the G-Corp and the Rebellion, where you're leading an army as Lars Alexanderson, and you're basically just going through a 3D beat-em-up.
It was bad. It was really a very low point in the game. I found myself just aiming to do sweeping AoE attacks because it would attack 4 or 5 people at once, and then I'd finish a wave and I'd go, all right, well, fair enough, I'm done. That's not outstayed its welcome. And then there'd be another 7 waves that I had to do, and I was like, no, this is not good. And then I changed character. I was like, oh, well, at least it's done, and I won't have to do it again. And I went straight back into the same battle. I was like, for fuck's sake, this felt like padding to the extreme.
I think what they needed was a way to involve all of the characters in the roster, and this was about the best they could come up with.
I think what they needed was to do that in the background while you fought someone one-on-one in the foreground.
Cool.
That would have been cool.
I just I felt like the one-on-one fighting was so tight and so well done that this just felt like this is the first fighting game I've ever played where I didn't feel like I was button bashing. I felt like I was very intentionally putting in combos until I got to that fight, because the lock-on system was terrible.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know who I was attacking. The fact that 4 or 5 people could attack you at once meant that my health would just go down ridiculously quickly. So I was literally button bashing for like probably upwards of 15 waves of enemies of varying strength. There was very little tactics in a game where I feel like you could be very tactical to win.
Yeah. Alex, your thoughts on the story mode?
I didn't play it because I forgot we were meant to play that.
Oh. All right.
Well, look
Well, there's
forward to
that.
the waves. They're good fun.
All right, I guess we'll go to
No.
arcade mode then. So arcade mode sees you as the player designing essentially a Nintendo Mii, complete with full character customization, and you start out in a very small arcade as a complete beginner to Tekken. And the idea is that you attend these arcades to attend local tournaments, getting to bigger and bigger venues until you're at the Tekken World Tour Grand Finals, which is a real event. The idea is that it's meant to emulate a player's journey from beginning out at Tekken to getting on the big stage. And it was basically a big old tutorial, but in a really fun and accessible way, I thought.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Alex, I'll let you talk. You did your gameplay in this section, so.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the progression of the PC players getting harder and harder worked really well. I don't necessarily think you needed to be in a Mii world, but here we are. It did give you options to sort of, if you didn't fancy continuing to progress, you could go and do little treasure box challenges to unlock new customizations, which never got used because I basically made my Mii and then continued on with life. One gripe that I did have with it, and this is something I texted Tim about maybe an hour ago. If you're playing through the arcade mode as, let's say you're playing as Jin, and you get yourself up to the rank of fighter, if you then went and switched yourself over to, say, Lars, you went back to beginner rank, and you had to climb your way back up. Now, Tim did explain it to me why. I still think it's stupid, but I kind of get it.
Well, the idea is
the game. Sorry, go on.
The idea is that the ranks reflect the online ranking for a character. So essentially, it's trying to have like, hey, you've improved this much that you are about this kind of online rank if you were to play online. And each character has their own rank because what they don't want is people tanking ranks and effectively smurfing in games. So with King, I'm in the Fujin ranks, for example. But if I were to pick up Kazuya, I would be right back at the beginning. And what they are trying to avoid is me tanking games as Kazuya and bringing my King rank down, because then I'd just be crushing more inexperienced players.
I was
Which
going
would
to ask
make
you to explain smurfing, but you just did it there.
which would make sense if this was an online game mode, but it isn't. I get that it's trying to emulate it, but it doesn't need to emulate that much. And it was never, as far as I can remember, it was never explained that, hey, you're starting as Jin. If you switch character, you will drop back down to beginner rank. So part of the way you progress through the arcade mode is you have to reach certain ranks that your friend Max wants you to reach, which is great. It gives you an attainable goal, but when that goal is easily restarted by you not realizing what's going on, it's a bit frustrating. So when I went in, I think I started as Dragnov in the arcades, got up to whatever the first rank you needed to progress. I think second Dan to progress, and then I thought, hey, one of the NPCs played as Reyna, and it looked like fun. So I thought, oh, I'll give Reyna a go. Dropped back down to beginner. Had to climb all the way back up as Reyna. Now, I'm aware I could go back to Dragnov and continue from where I was, but I wanted to try new characters. And it seems like a small thing to get annoyed by, but it was annoying.
I get it.
I get it too. I do feel like the me world, I didn't edit my character. I was a short blonde girl in a pretty pink dress for the whole thing, which was reflective of me, obviously.
Of natural.
Just like you are right now, yeah.
Exactly. So I didn't see the point in the traversable world. Although I thought that this mode was clever, because like Tim said, it emulates the online mode. And I'll be honest, I don't think I'll ever play this game online because I just know I will get absolutely flattened by people that play it. But this allowed me to experience what that online mode almost offers without feeling that way. I do feel like it was complicated. It was probably overly complicated for what it needed to be. But if you gave it the time, this is where I feel like I would spend the majority of my gameplay within Tekken 8. And I don't mind it going back down to beginner when you change character, because the characters do feel so different that I played anyway, other than Panda and Kuma is what I've heard. They should share a rank. But I feel like because they're so different, you are actually learning back from day dot when you start a new character. I don't feel like you should be able to progress to level 10, for example, on one character, and then the AI go, well, this person's quite good, and then you switch character and they go, well, you have no idea how to play it. Let's absolutely wallop them with who we have while you learn a new character. So yeah, I enjoyed arcade mode. I thought it was good. I didn't complete it. I don't know if you can complete it.
You can. There's actually a really neat reward at the end. I mentioned the ghost battles earlier in the episode.
Okay.
If you finish arcade mode, you get to fight the director of Tekken's ghost for his name.
Oh, that's cool.
And
That's very cool.
That's very cool.
What you'll find is when you're playing online, I think it might be offline as well. You can have like little title cards next to your username, being like, "I'm learning a new character," or "This is my first Tekken," or something like that. If you beat Harada's ghost, you get a unique title and like a unique bit of customization for the UI to be like, "Hey, I've done this."
Nice.
It's kind of fun.
That is pretty cool. That smacks a little bit of No. That sounds a little bit like, is it Doom 2? Where there's a secret ending where you go and kill the director's face behind a devil wall.
Yeah, it's just a neat little, hey, I've done this thing. There's two more game modes that I'd like to talk about. One of them is super short because it's just fighter customization. Tekken is not... You didn't do it, that's fine. I know Alex did. Tekken is not shy to let you customize the shit out of your fighter. Like, they will give you the base model of the fighter and just give you a whole bunch of wardrobe and makeup and colors and effects and just say, have at it. I've got a few costumes for basically every character in the game because I think it's fun. Alex, you had
I
a
made
few?
Dragonov a pretty pink princess. I put him in a pink floral short and a pink top hat. It was fantastic.
He looked like he was about to start a chocolate factory.
Especially considering how sort of, as a character, how menacing he looks when he's entering the stage and when he's fighting. To see that in just a bright pink suit and a top hat is incredible.
So like I've got my username on Tekken at the minute is not King, and all it is, it's just the base model of King, but in a Groucho Marx mask. So he's got like glasses and a mustache.
I was going to say, was it that one? Yeah.
Yeah, that's all it is. But just that alone allows you to have a little bit of player expression in terms of like, I'm going to have a bit of fun with this character, or someone might go, I'm going to make the character Jack 8, who's a giant robot-looking man. I'm going to make him look like Master Chief from Halo.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to make Lars look like Goku because I'm a fan of these things. And it really allows the player to have, on top of, there's a thing in fighting games called player expression where like players will play characters in unique ways. There's obviously a bit of a framework for how you play them, but this allows the player true creativity in terms of what they want to do with that character and how they see that character and what kind of fun they have with that character.
One of Horhang's entrances is he comes in on a motorbike. And I saw that for the first time and I went, right, I need to go back to character customization. And I made him like a proper metal biker with a spiked baseball bat on his back.
That's sweet. Do you know what's fun is about those props, like the shotguns, the chairs, the bat? You can use those in fights.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So there's a whole thing. There's a whole meme about people going skeet shooting in Tekken, where they'll go online with a shotgun on their back, knock a player high into the air, and the goal becomes shoot them out the sky.
Oh, it's incredible. Yeah, like you say, I had the baseball bat, and you just block them on the top of the head with. It's slow, but if it's really satisfying if you just manage to clock someone on the top of the head with a baseball bat.
Well, most of those
in the game,
yeah. Most of those characters' item weapons, if you like, the moves are all unblockable. However, they are really slow. So if you get hit by it, it's really, hey, you really should have seen this coming.
you just get bonked on the head.
Yeah, it's interesting because when we had a few guest characters in Tekken 7, we had Negan from The Walking Dead, for example. I guess it was a licensing thing, but they didn't allow for much character customization on Negan because AMC want him to look like, the character from the show. Whereas Clive from Final Fantasy 16 has just launched in Tekken 8 at the time of recording. They allow you to customize the shit out of him. People are making him look like Dante from Devil May Cry or Ezio from Assassin's Creed. It's really cool.
Are you telling me that I can go and put Clive in a bread mask?
Yes, I think
with
so.
a baguette on his back.
I think so.
I know what I'm doing after this.
Yeah. Maybe his sour cream and Clive sandwich. It's not great.
Oh, God.
But the game allows you to have, I think it's something like 8 to 10 slots per character of customization, which you can just endlessly customize. This game has an in-game currency called Tekken coins, and it just throws this money at you in any possible way. Did you successfully do a combo? Have some money. Did you win a fight? Have some money. Did you lose a fight? Have some money. And this in-game currency allows you to unlock more customization options for your character. It's not just like, hey, I have to buy this top hat that I want on King, but I wanted to buy it for every single character. If you buy the top hat once, you've got it for every character. It's yours to have.
I think by the time I got to the end of the arcade mod, I think I must have had about 4 million Tekken coins or something crazy like that. So I'm not going to be shy of cash when I see something that I like.
Well, that's it. And with each battle pass, because we've had a couple of battle passes now, that add basically bits of customization for your characters or artwork that's done by the Tekken community that you can then rep on your Tekken profile if you really like this thing. And what's quite nice is the people who buy the battle pass, the proceeds from that battle pass, I think the artists who are in that battle pass, they see a cut of those proceeds, which is really cool. Big fan of that.
Yeah, nice compared to other battle passes where it's just we want all your money.
But the point I'm trying to make here is that every single season, which is about 60 to 80 days, I think, there's new customization items added to the game. The most recent one has just wrapped up with a whole Santa theme. So the amount of Santas I've been fighting online is numerous.
Just a Santa Kuma.
But then they'll also just add stuff to. They have an in-game shop because this game does have microtransactions. If you are into that, it's not required by any stretch because you can earn the funds by doing battle pass stuff. But if you want to buy money, you can. And this is a separate currency called, I think, also confusingly. Oh no, Tekken Gold is the one they throw at you. Tekken Coins is the paid-for microtransaction.
That's right. Yeah.
Yes. And Tekken Coins will allow you to buy further costume stuff that you can only buy with Tekken Coins. So, do you want King's outfit from Tekken 3? You can do that. Do you want Kazuya's outfit from Tekken Dark Resurrection? You can do that. Alternatively,
do you want butterfly wings? You can do that.
But alternatively, there's nothing stopping you from going into the character creator and making a homemade version of that outfit yourself.
You could be Jin cosplaying Jin from a previous game.
Yeah, absolutely. And people do that. It's actually a really cool system. The last thing I want to talk about is the training mode in this game, because I asked you guys, and I don't know if you did, Joey, to do some combo trials and check out what each character could do. Joey's violently shaking his head as he takes a bite into his sandwich. Alex, how many combo trials did you do?
Successfully or...
Well, let's go for attempts, because each character's got about 10 or 11 different combos they kind of give you to be like, hey, try this.
I managed a couple with Lars and I managed a couple with Horhang. The problem I have is I'm not good at timing, and these combos aren't just a case of, press Y, then X, then A, then B, or whatever it might be. You've got to press X, wait for 3 frames, press Y, wait for 5 frames, press B, wait for 6 frames, press B. And that is where I fall down, is the timing.
Tekken works on a combo system called dial-a-combo. So normally in, like, let's say your Street Fighters or your Guilty Gears or your BlazBlue, you kind of just push the button and the move comes out. Whereas in Tekken, you have to input a series of we call them numbers in the fighting game community. So button 1, button 2, button 3, button 4. You input like 1, 1, 2 as an example for left punch, right punch, because all your buttons are tied to specific limbs. And 1, 1, 2 will do a specific move that has been designed around 1, 1, 2. So the combos are very much made up of strings of those dialer combos.
But when you start putting directional inputs and breaks in it, it becomes...
I think it's very rewarding, though. Like, it's a game that really rewards you going in and practicing.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's rewarding when you finally figure out the timing. But the 20 minutes before that is just a piss take.
But this is why we've seen whole streams of Tim on Guilty Gear practicing combos, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that you can do it. Do you ever get to do them in game?
All the time.
Really?
Yeah. So it's come down to muscle memory at this point, so I don't think I could necessarily name the specific buttons, but there's a few go-to king punishes that I can go to just off the bat. Like if I see there's an opportunity here, let's go for it. I just have to remember, hey, which punish does which, because each of them have different frame data.
Well, you and true fighters are one.
We are unioned.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whereas people like me and Joey are scared of you.
Deep fear. Those are the 4 main modes, and I've touched on the other 2 big player enhancement kind of modes that Tekken 8 has brought to the table. But there is one more fun game mode that I didn't ask you guys to take a look at, just because it's a fun party game, just called Tekken Ball.
I played a bit of that.
You played a bit of Tekken Ball. Do you want to tell Joey about it?
I didn't know what it was when I went to click it. I don't know why in my head I thought it was going to be some sort of big tournament setup kind of thing, a Tekken ball,
Yeah.
as it were. It was not. You are playing volleyball on the beach, and you are basically battering an iron ball at each other.
And if you get hit by the ball, that's how you take damage, not from hitting the other player.
I thought that was Dead or
Depending on-
Alive.
Pretty much, yeah.
There's Dead or Alive volleyball, but this is Tekken Ball, and Tekken Ball was around in Tekken 4, and they had Tekken Bowling in Tekken 7, and I don't remember what else they did in previous games, but Tekken Ball was back. It's fun.
Well,
Depending
that's
on the strength of the
silly.
attack you hit it with, it does more or less damage if it hits your opponent. It was bizarre.
Yeah. You also
It's
get damage
also
if the
weird.
ball hits the ground.
Yeah.
It gets it comes on to a point that I was going to make about this game, and this probably is my what's the word, ignorance to fighting games. This game is 120 gigabytes in
Yeah,
size.
it's not a small game.
It's massive. But I feel like the actual game itself is probably half of that. Whereas the other stuff, like this game at full price on Steam, for example, is £55.
Sure.
Full price game, as it should be. But I feel like what you're getting in terms of Tekken as a fighting game makes up probably 50% of what you're actually paying for. There is so much in this title that I haven't even clicked into or tried or experimented with. I actually think it's quite impressive.
How
The
much
amount
there
of
is.
stuff that's like crammed into this download.
Well, like to give you an idea, I've been playing Tekken 8 since day one that it came out, and I used to play Tekken 7.
Mhm.
I only touched Tekken Ball for the first time last week.
Wowzers!
That's how focused and like how many options that basically the online story mode and arcade mode offer you.
I mean, I'm looking at the recent Steam reviews, and it's not going well actually.
No, there's a lot of discussion about balancing and the microtransactions and the DLC practices. They've been upfront, Bandai Namco, and said that they're looking at revising how they're doing things for season 2, which is set to come out later this year. But it's
They've
just a
been
case of
up front and said, "We are Bandai Namco. We made Dark Souls, so you can cut us some fucking slack for this one.
We will do whatever we want, and you will pay for it.
You will,
and
like
we will.
it."
They're right. But we should probably get to scores and thoughts because we've been going on about Tekken 8 for a very long time now. So I'm going to start with Joey.
I said before I enjoyed this game. No ifs or buts. I would recommend it. I'd recommend it if it's in a sale. I don't think I would pay for it, but thankfully Steam family is glorious. It's a big download, so it might need to be one of like the few big titles you have on your hard drive, which is okay. Recommend it. Give it a 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10?
Yeah.
Lovely stuff. Alex?
Solid 7 as well.
Yeah, I think I mirror a lot of what Joey's saying in that I would recommend it. The recommendation is a hard one because it is a very good fighting game and it is very sort of accessible to new players in the fighting scene, but it is still a fighting game and it will still kick the living out of you if you're not careful. But yeah, I'd definitely recommend it, and I'm gonna give it. Yeah, I think 7.5.
7.5?
I'm looking at the scoreboards here, and I'm seeing that I gave Factorio and Dying Light 8. I definitely didn't like this more than those games, but I enjoyed it, and it is probably something I'll go back to.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, good shit. Because you also played a little bit of online. I know Joey said he didn't, but you played a little bit of online.
Yeah, it was very odd. The first 2 online matches I won, and then I got absolutely steamrolled by someone. And then I did a bit more online yesterday or today, I can't remember which. And for some reason I just went against people who would do nothing but pressing the punch button. I went against
low ranked.
I went against a Feng who was just constantly pressing right punch, and it beat me.
That's the thing is that's you not adapting to it.
Correct, 100%.
Yeah, but if you went into the replay mode, it would be like, hey, here's how you can counter this.
What
you're
about
gonna
you,
7.5.
Dustin?
I mean, it's no secret I'm a massive, massive fan of this game. I'm going to come out in the gates and say it. I'm probably going to give this like a 9 out of 10. I think in terms of a step up from Tekken 7, it's more accessible. It feels more fluid. It looks better. It plays better. It's a more complete package for a 2024 fighting game. And I think as a result, it's arguably one of the most successful fighting games in the last 10 years, I would say.
Yeah, nice. I mean, I think my 7 and Alex 7.5 probably reflective of those that don't play fighting games. So you, as the person who does, I mean, if people like fighting games, you should listen to Tim rather than Alex and I. But it doesn't surprise me that yours is like 2 steps higher, Tim.
Yeah. I mean, I absolutely love this game. There's a million answers to every single possible interaction you could have. Things feel fair. It's well put together. It's, they're transparent about their online DLC practices moving forward. They have an ear to the ground with the community. It's good.
And they have rollback netcode.
They have rollback netcode, and it's fucking glorious because Tekken 7's netcode was like playing through syrup.
Nice. There you go.
How recently did you learn the phrase rollback netcode, Joey?
I've known Tim for 30 years, Alex, so...
I was saying it when I was 1.
He was. It was his first words.
First word was rollback netcode and packet delay.
That was it, yeah.
Yeah. But that gives the Game Club pod score a 7.83 recurring out of 10 for Tekken 8.
I think.
It's so close to getting an 8.
Do you want me to bump mine up so it does, Tim?
You do what you need to. I'm not going to tell you otherwise.
7.5.
7.5. Wow.
Actually,
Bumps it
try
to exactly 8.
8 on the dot.
There you go.
Tekken 8 gets an 8 out of 10 from the Game Club pod.
Nice.
Nice. Joey, what are we doing next time?
Oh, God, it's me, isn't it? What are we doing next time? Are we... Oh,
It's thanks I hate it. We're doing Cabin Factory.
wait, are we not just announcing Mainline on Mainline?
I just thought we'd do next episode.
Oh, next episode.
You can do both.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. Because I think the idea in announcing what we would play as our next Mainline game was so that if anyone wanted to play it before the episode, they could do.
Yeah.
So we are playing... Well, actually, I don't have the next Mainline episode. My episode is the Cabin Factory for Thanks I Hate It. Alex, what's the next Mainline Game Club episode?
The next Mainline episode is something that I am very, very excited to record, and I'm sure we all are. It is going to be Baldur's Gate 3.
I've not really played it, so...
Well, I know, me neither, but we've got to try and do something, haven't we?
Okay.
Tim's still looking at the old schedule where it says Cyberpunk, aren't you?
Really confused. I was like, no, it's not.
Teehee is the Cabin Factory, and then Thanks I Hate It. No, not Thanks I Hate It. Mainline is Baldur's Gate 3.
But in between them, you've also got a BAP and a video game movie club.
Yeah, but I'll let you know what the video game movie club is, Adam. Thanks I Hate It.
Yeah.
Just to really convolute and confuse the whole fucking thing.
We're making a timeline here.
We are. This is our Marvel Universe timeline.
I want to see people in the Discord with like a corkboard and red string trying to connect up series episodes.
It's a timeline that looks like a bowl of spaghetti.
Yeah. I want, when Marvel do their announcement and they like do the next sprint and they have all of the films when they're coming out. That's what I want to do for our thing, and we'll announce it at Game Club PodCon.
Yeah, GameCon.
Is there not already a GameCon?
There's a GamesCon, but not GameCon.
Well, we'll fucking show them when
We'll have that.
There you go.
PodCon.
PodCon.
PodCon
Yeah.
these nuts.
Let's end it now, Tim.
All right, cool. We'll see everyone in a week's time.
See you later.
Bye.
Ciao.
Bye.
Me. Well,
So remember, no surrender, my defining moment. I will stand up, overcome my past, this is different to the end. If it takes forever, no surrender, now or never, my last stand.
Hello, this is Tim from Two Blokes from Blighty, and I am joined.
Tim, are you
I've done that
all
wrong.
right?
Hello, this is Tim. We're just off of Two Blokes from Blighty. I'll dump all this at the end of the episode.
Another
It's
two
fine.
blokes trick.
Yeah.